Yes, there are Stak-Its that can accommodate a 14-3 wire. Consider these alternatives. Firstly, the Appleton NM-14254-12 Stak-It non-metallic cable tie is rated for 14-2, 14-3, 12-2, and 12-3 wire sizes. Secondly, the Carlons-143 non-metallic cable clamp is rated for 14-2, 14-3, 12-2, and 12-3 wire sizes. Thirdly, the Cooper Busman HIC T-254-1 NM cable tie is rated for 14-2, 14-3, 12-2, and 12-3 wire sizes. Fourthly, the ideal 30-1040 NM cable tie is rated for 14-2, 14-3, 12-2, and 12-3 wire sizes. Fifthly, the Legrand wire molded 12030 non-metallic cable tie is rated for 14-2, 14-3, 12-2, and 12-3 wire sizes. Sixthly, the McCormick cable tie S-143 is rated for 14-2, 14-3, 12-2, and 12-3 wire sizes. It is important to remember that you should always check the product specifications and ensure that the Stak-It you select is Underwriters Laboratories listed for the specific wire size you are using, specifically 14-3 in your situation. When installing electrical wiring, selecting the correct components is paramount to ensure safety and code compliance. The choice of cable supports, often referred to as Stak-Its or cable ties, plays a crucial role in maintaining the secure and organized electrical system. These supports prevent the wires from sagging, becoming damaged, or creating potential hazards. When working with non-metallic sheathed cable, commonly known as Romex, it's essential to use supports that are specifically designed and listed for that purpose. In this context, the term listed generally refers to Underwriters Laboratories listing, indicating that the product has been tested and meets established safety standards. When a situation arises where an inspector identifies a discrepancy between the installed support and the wire size, it's imperative to rectify the issue promptly. This typically involves replacing the non-compliant supports with ones that are appropriately listed for the specific type and size of wire being used, such as 14-3 Romex. A 14-3 Romex cable contains 3 current carrying conductors plus a ground wire. This configuration is commonly used for 120-volt circuits where a neutral conductor is required in addition to the hot and ground wires, such as in a switch loop or for a 3-way switch. The 14 indicates the American wire gauge size of the conductors, which in this case is 14 American wire gauge. When selecting Stak-Its, several brands and models are available that are specifically listed for use with 14-3 Romex. These include the Appleton NM-14254-12, the Carlons-143, the Cooper Busman HIC T-254-1, the Ideal 30-1040, the Legrand wire molded 12030, and the McCormick cable tie S-143. These products are designed to securely hold the cable in place, preventing it from moving or becoming damaged over time. It's crucial to examine the product specifications and Underwriters Laboratories listing information to confirm that the selected Stak-It is indeed appropriate for use with 14-3 Romex. This information is typically found on the product packaging, in the manufacturer's literature, or on their website. In addition to ensuring the correct listing, it's also important to install the Stak-Its properly. This generally involves securely fastening them to a structural member, such as a stud or joist, using appropriate hardware. The spacing between the supports should comply with the National Electrical Code requirements, which typically mandates that they be installed at intervals not exceeding 4½ feet and within 12 inches of any box or fitting. By adhering to these guidelines and selecting the correct Stak-Its, electrical installations can be performed safely and in compliance with applicable codes and standards. Remember, working with electricity can be dangerous, so if you are not comfortable performing electrical work, it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician. When selecting and installing cable supports, it is crucial to consider several key factors to ensure safe and code-compliant electrical installation. Firstly, the type and size of the cable being supported must be matched to the appropriate Stak-It. Different cable types, such as non-metallic sheath cable or armored cable, require different types of supports. Similarly, the size of the cable, indicated by its American wire gauge, must be compatible with the Stak-Its specified range. Secondly, the listing and certification of the Stak-It are essential considerations. Look for products that are listed by underwriters' laboratories or another nationally recognized testing laboratory. This listing indicates that the product has been tested and meets established safety standards. The listing information will specify the cable types and sizes for which the Stak-It is approved. Thirdly, the installation method and spacing of the Stak-Its must comply with the National Electrical Code requirements. The National Electrical Code specifies the maximum distance between cable supports as well as the distance from boxes and fittings. Adhering to these requirements ensures that the cable is properly supported and prevents it from sagging or becoming damaged. Fourthly, the material of the Stak-It should be appropriate for the environment in which it will be installed. For example, in damp or corrosive environments, corrosion-resistant Stak-It should be used. Similarly, in areas where the cable may be exposed to high temperatures, heat-resistant Stak-It should be selected. Fifthly, the ease of installation and adjustability of the Stak-It should be considered. Some Stak-Its are easier to install than others, and some offer greater adjustability to accommodate different cable sizes or configurations. Choosing a Stak-It that is easy to work with can save time and effort during the installation process. Sixthly, the cost of the Stak-It should be factored into the overall budget for the electrical installation. While it's important to select high-quality Stak-Its that meet all safety and code requirements, it's also important to be mindful of the cost. Compare prices from different suppliers to find the best value. Seventhly, the availability of the Stak-It should be considered. Ensure that the selected Stak-It is readily available from local suppliers or online retailers. This will help to avoid delays in the installation process. Eighthly, the long-term durability of the Stak-It should be taken into account. Choose Stak-Its that are made from durable materials and are designed to withstand the rigors of the environment in which they will be installed. This will help to ensure that the cable supports will last for many years to come. Ninthly, the compatibility of the Stak-It with other electrical components should be verified. Ensure that the Stak-It is compatible with the boxes, fittings, and other components that will be used in the electrical installation. This will help to avoid any unforeseen problems during the installation process. Tenthly, the aesthetic appearance of the Stak-It may be a consideration in some applications. In areas where the cable supports will be visible, choose Stak-Its that are aesthetically pleasing and blend in with the surroundings. In summary, when selecting and installing cable supports, it is crucial to consider the type and size of the cable, the listing and certification of the Stak-It, the installation method and spacing, the material of the Stak-It, the ease of installation and adjustability, the cost, the availability, the long-term durability, the compatibility with other components, and the aesthetic appearance. By carefully considering these factors, you can ensure a safe, code-compliant, and aesthetically pleasing electrical installation. Always consult the National Electrical Code and local electrical codes for specific requirements and guidelines. In addition to the factors mentioned previously, it's also important to consider the following aspects when selecting and installing cable supports. Firstly, the potential for future expansion or modification of the electrical system should be considered. Choose Stak-Its that can accommodate additional cables if future expansion is anticipated. This will save time and effort in the long run. Secondly, the accessibility of the cables for maintenance or repair should be taken into account. Install the Stak-Its in a way that allows easy access to the cables for inspection, testing, or replacement. Avoid burying the cables behind walls or ceilings where they would be difficult to reach. Thirdly, the potential for vibration or movement of the building structure should be considered. In areas where vibration or movement is likely, use Stak-Its that are designed to dampen vibrations and prevent the cables from becoming damaged. Fourthly, the presence of any hazardous materials or environmental conditions should be taken into account. In areas where hazardous materials are present or where there are extreme environmental conditions, use Stak-Its that are specifically designed for those conditions. For example, In areas where there is a risk of explosion, use explosion-proof Stak-Its. Fifthly, the potential for electromagnetic interference should be considered. In areas where electromagnetic interference is a concern, use Stak-Its that are designed to shield the cables from electromagnetic fields. This can help to prevent interference with sensitive electronic equipment. Sixthly, the potential for rodent or insect damage should be considered. In areas where rodents or insects are a problem, use Stak-Its that are resistant to chewing or nesting. This can help to prevent damage to the cables and ensure the long-term reliability of the electrical system. Seventhly, the potential for vandalism or theft should be considered. In areas where vandalism or theft is a concern, use Stak-Its that are tamper-resistant or that can be secured with locks. This can help to protect the cables from damage or theft. Eighthly, the potential for accidental damage from construction activities or other sources should be considered. Install the Stak-Its in a way that minimizes the risk of accidental damage from construction activities, such as drilling or hammering. Use protective covers or guards to shield the cables from potential damage. Ninthly, the potential for water damage or corrosion should be considered. In areas where there is a risk of water damage or corrosion, use Stak-Its that are made from corrosion-resistant materials and that are designed to prevent water from entering the cables. Tenthly, the potential for fire damage should be considered. Use Stak-Its that are made from fire-resistant materials and that are designed to prevent the spread of fire. This can help to protect the building and its occupants in the event of a fire. In addition to these considerations, it's also important to follow all applicable safety precautions when working with electricity. Always disconnect the power before working on any electrical equipment. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, consult with a qualified electrician. By carefully considering all of these factors and following all applicable safety precautions, you can ensure a safe, code-compliant, and reliable electrical installation. Always consult the National Electrical Code and local electrical codes for specific requirements and guidelines. Furthermore, let's delve into the specifics of selecting cable supports for 14-3 Romex wiring, emphasizing the nuances that guarantee safety and compliance. The American wire gauge, or American wire gauge, standard sizes the conductors within Romex cables, with 14 American wire gauge indicating a specific diameter suitable for 15 amp circuits under most conditions. It's essential to note that different applications and environmental factors can affect the ampacity, so always refer to the National Electrical Code tables for precise ampacity ratings. 14-3 Romex comprises 3 conductors, a hot wire, a neutral wire, and a ground wire plus the outer sheathing. This configuration suits 120 volt circuits requiring a neutral, like those serving switches, lighting fixtures, and general purpose outlets. When choosing cable supports, prioritize those explicitly listed for 14-3 Romex by Underwriters Laboratories or another recognized testing lab. This listing ensures the support has undergone rigorous testing to meet safety and performance standards. Supports listed for a range of sizes, including 14-3, offer versatility, but always confirm the specific listing covers your application. Several types of cable supports accommodate 14-3 Romex. Non-metallic cable ties, often called Stak-Its, provide a simple and cost-effective solution. These typically feature a nail or screw for attachment to wooden framing members. Ensure the chosen Stak-It is listed for the cable size and the installation environment. Cable staples, another common option, secure the cable with metal or plastic fasteners driven into the framing. When using staples, exercise caution to avoid damaging the cable sheathing, which could compromise insulation and safety. Opt for insulated staples designed specifically for Romex cables. Cable clamps offer a more robust support method, typically used where the cable enters or exits an enclosure. These clamps grip the cable securely, preventing strain and protecting the connection. Choose clamps listed for the cable size and enclosure type. J-hooks, often made of metal or plastic, provide a convenient way to suspend cables from overhead structures. These hooks allow for easy cable placement and removal, making them ideal for areas requiring frequent changes or additions. Ensure the J-hooks are properly sized and supported for the cable weight. The National Electrical Code dictates the spacing requirements for cable supports. Generally, non-metallic sheet cable must be supported every 4½ feet horizontally and every 12 inches from enclosures. Adhering to these spacing requirements prevents cable sagging and potential damage. Proper installation is as critical as selecting the correct cable supports. Ensure the supports are securely fastened to the framing members using appropriate hardware. Avoid over-tightening fasteners, which could damage the cable or compromise the support. Inspect the installation to verify that the cable is properly supported and that there are no signs of damage or stress. Always disconnect power to the circuit before working with electrical wiring. This prevents accidental shock and ensures a safe working environment. Use insulated tools specifically designed for electrical work. These tools protect you from electrical shock and reduce the risk of short circuits. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, including safety glasses and gloves. This equipment protects you from potential hazards, such as flying debris and electrical shock. If you are unsure about any aspect of the installation, consult a qualified electrician. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it's always best to seek professional assistance when needed. By following these guidelines and paying close attention to detail, you can ensure safe, code-compliant installation of 14-3 Romex wiring. Remember, electrical safety is paramount, and it's always better to err on the side of caution. Regular inspections of electrical installations are essential to identify and address potential hazards. Look for signs of damaged cables, loose connections, or corroded supports. Correct any issues promptly to prevent further damage and ensure the continued safety of the electrical system. Document all electrical work performed, including the types of cable supports used, the installation methods, and any inspections or repairs. This documentation provides a valuable record for future reference and helps to ensure consistency and accountability. Stay informed about the latest electrical codes and standards. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, and it's important to stay up to date on the latest requirements and best practices. Attend training courses, read industry publications, and consult with electrical experts to expand your knowledge and skills. Promote a culture of safety in the workplace. Encourage all workers to follow safe work practices and to report any potential hazards. Create a positive safety environment where everyone feels empowered to speak up and contribute to a safer workplace. Continuously improve your electrical skills and knowledge. The more you know about electrical systems, the better equipped you will be to perform safe and effective installations and repairs. Seek out opportunities to learn new techniques, expand your understanding of electrical theory, and develop your problem-solving skills. By embracing a commitment to safety, continuous learning, and professional development, you can excel in the electrical industry and make a positive contribution to the safety and well-being of others. Remember, electrical work is a critical trade that demands respect, attention to detail, and a dedication to safety.